I love you. Thinking I was wrong, I'm far. Still admit that I'm so pretty young, and I never meant to hurt you when I heard you 10 love songs.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, ready. Didn't know I was creative till about 7 years ago, and I discovered I can do things with words and spoken word and poetry. And 3 years ago I gave up work just to have this adventure and see what happened, and I was meant to give myself 3 months just to roll with this creative thing. And a few weeks before that happened, I was in the 3-Minute Theatre downstairs, and I was chatting to John, who's one of the people who owns it and runs it, and he was asking me how my year had been, and I was telling him how it'd been amazing. I described it as like being Alice falling down the rabbit hole, and how I'd had 3 poet in residencies that were amazing, and I was just going on about how amazing these residencies were, and he just had this, what I can only describe as a light bulb moment. He just went, he just said, do you know, I bet Afflecks could do it a bit good if they had a poet in residence. Well, I'll go and talk to the manager. So he made an appointment, and I spoke to this guy who I'd never seen before, and he said, what would a poet in residence be about? Somebody who should record, celebrate and promote creativity of all kinds. You should give them a quiet room and the quietest floor, and let people just come in and create. And I just sort of, I just ran with it. And then, without really any planning, because I'd taken a one-woman show to Edinburgh the last week of the year of me being not working anymore, I then suddenly turned up in Afflecks with a room thinking, what am I going to do? And within the first week it would have been amazing. The people who'd come in, what had happened, the arts, the connections, it was just, and it's gone from strength to strength. Opened October the 1st, 2015 I think. Well, it's basically 2 years and 3 months. Well, I keep saying 3 years or 1 year, because I lose track of time. It's, October the 1st, 15, that's it, I've met so many people who have influenced how I've taken my life, what direction I've done, or decisions I've made, real friends of all ages, but in this space I'm not anybody's particular friend, grandma, counsellor, advisor. You know, it's not that sort of thing. I'm here getting as much out of it as everybody else is as well. When I was little, I absolutely was the shyest, quietest child who wanted to be invisible. I didn't want to talk to anybody on the streets. I wanted, I was just really, really, really quiet. The thing is, as you get older, you do become quite invisible. In Edinburgh, walking down the Royal Mile, people would be flying for their shows, giving them all out, and then would miss me. And then when I challenged them, they said, why didn't you give me one? Oh, well, I didn't think you'd be interested in. So suddenly you become invisible. So I've done this weird reversal thing from wanting to be invisible. I still want to be invisible in many ways. I really sort of want to be just watching the world. Weirdly, I've become incredibly visible. Not because I've looked for it, but I've had some of my poetry on TV, on nationwide adverts, and big pictures of me looking down from every single nationwide building society in the country, and my poem that I wrote about Afflecks is in massive words on the outside of this building. I found my voice and I want it to be heard, and I have no problem about saying, look, just don't make assumptions about me because of whatever, and I try not to do the same about others, and I seem to, chat to you next time. So I get lots of regulars, and I wouldn't not wave at them in the middle of chatting about myself. That's not, year the weirdest year I've ever had in my life. Yeah, myself and 100 people, we all took cabbages for a walk on Leeds through Manchester with a Chinese artist. So one of them led me to go to a 1-hour poetry writing workshop. So I went along. Of course, there's no way I was going to share poetry. That would have been the scariest thing. But I sat down next to this woman, and she was a performance poet. And I was sort of saying, well, what do you mean, what's a performance poet? You know, what's... And anyway, at the end of the hour, she turned to me and said she was putting on an event at Museum of Wigan Life, something like that, yeah. And would I write a poem and perform it? I said, yes, I will do it. Then thought, what have I done? And well, basically, it took off from there. I started winning slams and competitions and being asked to do guest spots and getting paid work and running workshops and it just, yeah. Yeah, songs can really touch in different ways and can evoke different moods and make you think, and what poetry's the same. You know, it can completely bore you and turn you off, just like some songs. And when people say I don't like country music or I don't like jazz or I don't like whatever, they don't say I don't like music, and yet some people say I don't like poetry. And I just say to them, you just haven't found the right poetry yet. It's there, but you know, there is something that you like. I get inspired every single day through how I live my life and how I write and what other things I now do creatively by everybody I come in contact with, you know, including yourselves, everybody who comes in this space, the things that happen, and yeah, we're all moulded by the connections we have and what happens around us, and I'm lucky that I get hundreds every day. It's easy to miss it sometimes. You know, it's often the very quiet people who are just doing very lovely things that are inspiring. So my mum, who's 92, is the most inspiring. She thinks she's just ordinary. She thinks she's nothing special, and she is. She's amazing. It's really strange because people assume that I spent my childhood in Afflecks. Well, one, it didn't open as Afflecks Palace as it is till '82. And by then I was living away from here, and although I knew about it and I had been in a couple of times, it wasn't that wasn't part of my life. It's since being based here, I see how much it means to other people. It's so many people describe it as home, or the place I can be myself, or the place I discovered who I was, or the places like this should exist in the world, like Afflecks. There should be more because so many cities have lost them. It's a magnet for the amazingly weird of the planet, and it's fine to be amazingly weird here. And I mean, essentially, it is a business. Lots of independent businesses trying to do it differently than working for the corporation.
Couldn't get in his head just what was going through my mind. Not thinking you where I was going, cause he put Brian Adams on. Think things that makes me weak, but only ever makes me strong.
My future, and the future of this creative space in Afflecks, will depart at some point. I've got a whole list of things I want to do, and so I want to find a way of Afflecks continuing to have this creative space, but not needing me here as much, not me at the helm. So the first step is we're getting involved with, we're just starting getting involved with Central Library, and one of the archivists there, called Siobhan, is been coming in and is working with young people to capture the stories of Afflecks. She's got bringing equipment in, capturing their stories and also getting them to capture other people's stories. And it'll be archived in the library. There'll be a digital exhibition, and then if it works well, at the end of February we're going to put in a bid for some money to do something big style that will allow me to link with other places in the Northern Quarter, get this running with some other organisations that I'm working with, and then that can be running and I can be stepping further away and seeing what other adventures are out there for me. Yeah, about that time it'll be 3 years here, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but it'll be something different. I'll still be connected, But obviously, as amazing as this space is, I've got life beyond this as well. This is a poem called My Mum. My mum was Betty Davis, or Greta Garbo, on those rare nights when she would go and leave me and Dad at home. She'd hang her pinny behind the bedroom door, take off the slippers that she always wore, fold her headscarf into the dressing table drawer and transform into a star. And I'd watch as the hands that worked the mangle and yanked the tangles from her hair would tease the curls from the rollers and unfurl them with such care. Then a little mist of spray and just enough of brown on face with a powder puff. With breath held tight and eyes open wide, I'd watch the lipstick twist and the red rise. Left slide, right slide, smack lips tight and press down gently on a hanky white. Then she'd be off down the path with no rush or fuss, and I'd peer through the window till she got on the bus, race back to the table and cradle the hanky with a shadow red kiss that she'd left just for me. And I knew there'd be a red carpet when she got off the 33, with crowds and photographers admiring her beauty, because they would all love her, but not as much as me. Now this was in Little Hulton, Salford Council's overspilled suburbia. And this was at the end of the 50s, still painted in post-war sepia, with no hint of the 60s psychedelia that was round the corner. And even now, as I dig in my bag overstuffed with tact and disorder, I'll feel those ridges and I'm back. New York, London, Paris, Rome, Estee Lauder. But there's often a tear in my eye, because I don't see magic in the mundane, just grown-up reality. But there's a bloody big smile too, because 50 years on, none of her dignity and charm have gone. It's there in every wrinkle, every line, every gesture, every movement, so refined. So here's to you and all that you are. To my mum, forever a star. Mwah.